Hey, everybody. Welcome.
Hi, it's been so long. So I had to go to work today, right? My first day back.
Yes.
And I could not stop thinking about that damn tongue thingy doodle.
Oh, geez.
So I had to go on and replay our video and watch it. And I swear to God, my boss walked around the corner and saw it.
Oh, no.
He was like, "What the hell?" I hurry up and was like fumbling, and I couldn't get it to go off. So yeah.
Blissful says she's going to behave tonight.
Blissful, you caused a ruckus. So how is everybody? Good?
Yeah,
Good.
hopefully good.
Halle Belly's in the house. Angie, Salem, 71, our other troublemaker.
Texas.
Blissful, the number one troublemaker. Ronnie Kell, One Red Rose, Salem. Did I miss any? Sassy Frassy. What's up, everyone? So I have news on my dad. Who was it yesterday that asked me what hospital he was in? Was it somebody in the chat tonight? Do you remember?
I don't remember. Hi, Cheryl Steele.
Cheryl, we were looking for you last night. I don't know if you caught the replay, but we were bad. And I was like, oh, God, I know Cheryl, the author, is going to be pissed. So you have to watch it. But anyway, so here, give me a second, guys.
I'm trying to remember who it was that was asking what hospital.
They had the wrong hospital. It's called Memorial. But anyway, so he was transported today.
Oh, Kelly Belly lives in Savannah.
Was it you, Kelly, that asked me what hospital it was? And you said St. Joe's. It's not. It was. You have to go watch it, Cheryl. I gave you a shout out. It wasn't. It's Memorial. So anyway, he was transferred today to a rehabilitation center. That's great news. Are you like not? What are you doing? Are you not with us, Leanne?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just
You're
listening.
not commentating.
I'm just listening. You were talking, telling the story.
There's all these awkward long pauses. I'm like, did she fall off the dooflick? But anyway,
I'm here.
So he got transported about an hour and a half ago. Good. I don't know why so late. He had to wait for an ambulance. And I guess that means he's doing better, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't sound better, but he is being transported to rehab. And they say that they'll really work on it. Okay, good. Memorial is a good one. Good. So they are going to work on getting him walking again and
good.
His heart rate. His heart rate did come down. It was 128 beats a minute. All day it was around 89.
Oh, good. So it did come down quite a bit.
Yeah, but normally his is in the 60s. So, okay, 71 wants Millie. I got to go get Millie. We do this every day. So you talk to everybody, Liam, while I go get her because she ran under the bed.
Blissful, you're eating champagne jelly beans. Are they good? I've never heard of those. Where did you get those, or what brand are they? Millie was trying to hide from Christy, and I can hear her saying, do you want to go eat? She's trying to coax her out. And that will usually do it if you ask her if she wants to eat.
Come on, Millie. Where the hell did she go?
Oh, they're Jelly Bellies. I've never tried the champagne ones. I'll have to try those.
Millie!
Millie's hiding out from Christiane. She knows she's going to put her on camera.
Come on, Millie.
Millie's like, no way, I'm not being on that camera again. She's hiding.
Do you want to eat? Millie, do you want to eat?
My cat comes running. Here's Christiane, and here he comes. He's like, okay, I'll eat. You got something for me?
Come on, Mildred. Where the hell's Millie? What? Yes.
Blissful the Rosé is good too.
I can't find her.
Hi,
Wait,
Hannah.
let me try to shake the food. Who wants to eat? Millie, you want to eat? You know what? I know where she's at. Give me a sec. Millie, you're ridiculous. Come on, Mildred.
Hi, Hemi. Yeah, she's really hiding. If she didn't come running for treats or food.
That's because I combed her today. She's pissed.
Oh, she got combed, and so now she's mad. $71. I feel like that some days too. That I wish I could hide out so nobody could find me.
I don't
Yeah.
know. It's the case of the missing Mildred.
You didn't find her yet?
No, wherever she is, it's a good spot because she was literally just out here with me.
Yeah, I know. She doesn't want to be on camera. She's like, I'm hiding out.
I went to grab her. She is going to attack my hair, 71. I went to grab her to put her on when we went on, and she took off down the hall, and now she's missing in action.
She's
But we'll bring her
somewhere.
back. My hair is a wreck today, though. Look at it. Look at this.
No, it's not.
Yeah, this is what happens when you have to go to work for a living.
Well, that's true.
Oh, Hemi's here. Hi,
Yeah.
Hemi. How you been, honey? So, you got flea medicine? I need to get her some because my dog is tracking fleas in. No, we're just chilling. We really don't have, we're just going to talk. I'm in my pajamas, my cozy. It's cold in LA tonight. It's like, let me tell you. How cold is it for you? Did you get snow, Leanne?
No, let's see how cold it is here. It's not real cold. Let me look.
But this is like, LA's supposed
It's
to be warm.
50. It's 50 here.
I think we have matching weather. But I'm over this shit. Like, this has been the coldest LA has been since I've lived here for years. And I need warm weather in my life. Weather in Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's supposed to get up into the 70s.
In Los Angeles.
56 degrees.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
56 degrees is, in my bones, feels like 32. I can't do 56 degrees. Is it cold in Georgia? My dad said there was tornadoes in hell bigger than golf balls.
Ooh.
You know how like older people are, all they talk about is the weather and their health.
Yes.
So every time I talk to him, he tells me about the weather there. And I'm like, how do you even see the weather, Dad? You're in the hospital. I watch it on my phone. My friend told me he's wearing a sweater. And yes, look, I'm wearing a thermal and a sweater to
I'd be
bed.
dying.
I'm freezing. I refuse to turn my heat on, though. I'm not turning it on. That's what I like about California, though. You really don't have to run your air conditioner, and you really don't have to run your heater.
Yeah, that'd be okay. It saves on the bills. Hi, Jane Perry.
My dad is 70. I don't even know. He's in his 70s. He makes up ages. So now it's...
I love your dad.
He's 72 or 73. So he's still young. But all he talks about is weather and his health and politics. That's our whole entire conversation every time we talk.
Oh, how funny.
It starts it the same way. How's the weather today? And then I have to ask him back. And then we talk about the weather today. And then it moves to the weather in the future, like 10 days out. And then he'll even say, Alexa, what's the weather in Savannah for the next 10 days? So then I got to wait and listen to this Alexa answer him. And then after that, thank you, Jane. He got moved to a rehabilitation center today. So that's good news.
That is good.
His condition really hasn't changed much though. So I'm still not excited. But and then after the weather topic, we moved to the health. And then after the health, did you see what Trump did. And then we move into Trump in politics. And then we hang up. That's our life.
Your dad's a hoot.
That happens to all of us, though, right? Blissful said, my mom is around the same age. She talks about conspiracy theories and heavy metal. That's much more interesting. You're lucky, Blissful. Sometimes my dad will talk about girls. When I owned a nightclub, did I tell this story probably, right? We had shot girls, and my dad and I owned a nightclub together. So he would come in occasionally on the weekends, and he would sit at the bar like a king on a throne, and all of the shot girls would dance on him. Oh my Lord, the pictures I would take.
Oh, how
He
funny.
would be in his ever-loving glory. Shot girls all around. You know, they would cater to him too because he was the owner.
Right.
You know what I mean? He played that up. Pervert.
That's hilarious.
Yes. So anytime he comes to LA and visits, he likes to look at the women.
How funny.
It's embarrassing. He's like, look at her. Or we'll be walking, he'll literally go like this. I'm like, Dad, you're at the age now where people aren't going to just accept that. That's not normal. But then my grandpap was a pervert. You know what? My grandpap was in the hospital, and before he passed away, it was probably like 2 weeks before, he was hitting on all the nurses and grabbing
Oh
their
my
butts.
God.
It was horrible. My grandma would hit him with things.
Hi, Sandy.
Because he did it right in front of her. Angie said her mom talks about her medication and aches and pains. Yeah, see? I hear about my dad's medications. Hi, Sandy. You think that's awesome? I'll have to show you guys pictures. Yeah,
definitely.
I'll show you pictures of him and all the hot shot girls because I used to hire the most beautiful shot girls. And my dad would just, what time's everything happening tonight, Chris? He would call me. And I would say late. I would be like 11 when it really would start at 9, thinking that was too late for him. But he always
right. He'd still come anyway.
Oh yeah, he made it at 11, and he would dress like he dresses like Sylvester Stallone in the 70s. He wears them like fitted mock turtleneck sweaters.
Yes.
And really nice crisp pants, and slicks his hair back because I get my hair from my dad. He has very thick Italian hair. So, and he slicks it back, not with gel or anything, just like the way he combs it back. And he's a handsome man for his age.
There you go.
I love my dad. Kemi said, God love him. Your grandpa did that, Kelly Belly? Yeah. And then my mom and dad were divorced, and my mom would stop into the bar to visit us because they did have a good relationship even after they divorced. My mom passed away, but my mom was a looker. My mom was drop dead gorgeous. She was a model. She was beautiful. And she would come in, and my dad you could tell my dad still was in love with her.
Right.
You know? And he would act like the sweetest gentleman the minute she walked in. He wouldn't look at the shot girls anymore. He would act like he was this sweet little wholesome spirit that would never do anything wrong. It was crazy.
I love it. That's so cute.
When
my 71 says you're so cute about your dad.
I know. I love my dad. I'm a daddy's girl. I really am.
My dad's an ass.
I know. How long has it been, if you don't mind me asking, since you've talked to him?
11 years.
That makes me so sad, Leanne. I want to call him.
I know. He married this wicked witch, and for people that don't know, she's terrible. And part of that's his fault. She doesn't want him to have anything to do with his family, so he just doesn't talk to my brother or I or my nieces. My daughter makes him talk. She'll just show up there. But otherwise, no, he doesn't talk to any of us.
All over a woman.
Yep. Yeah, my mom passed away several years ago, and he met this woman, I don't know, about probably 5 years after my mom passed away on a dating site, which at first we thought it was hilarious because he was dating and he was having fun, and it was good to see him happy. But yeah, now he is with her.
What a wicked woman.
Oh, she's horrible.
Yeah, that's crazy. You should just show up one day and be like, I'm here. Hi.
She'd probably call the police on me.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not. She's horrible.
Somebody walked around the corner. Let me grab her.
Oh, okay.
She made an appearance from wherever she was hiding. Let me grab her.
Thank you, Cheryl.
We gotta be real quiet when we do this. Oh God, she sees me. Am I fast enough?
Oh, Kelly Belly, your stepmom was your babysitter and she hated you. Isn't that terrible? Texas, I'm sorry. You go through that with your dad too. And you haven't talked to him.
That's just sad. Every girl needs their daddy. Okay.
Everyone said she'd love to say that she haven't spoken to her siblings for 11 years. LOL.
Siblings are a little different.
Yeah.
You can all have some asshole siblings.
Sassy for ass. I'm sorry that your dad's like that too.
That is so sad. I'm sorry, guys. I got really lucky with my dad.
Yeah, your dad's awesome.
Here's one pissed off kitten.
Hello, Millie.
She's growling.
Don't you be bitching.
She is bitching. She's saying F words in cat language.
She probably is. Millie. Oh, listen to her. She's mad.
Oh, she had eye boogers and they got on my lips.
One Red Rose, I'm sorry. You lost your dad when you were 18. That's tough. I'm sorry.
You don't talk to, gosh, we have a lot of people in the chat that.
Yeah. Kelly, you don't talk to your mom or siblings.
Sorry. My mom and I had a tumultuous relationship. Like, you know, the typical mother-daughter. I don't know. I think a lot of daughters always feel like they can't, whatever they do, it's not good enough for their moms. Like, I have a lot of friends that feel that way. Hi, Robin. I know, right?
Hey, Robin.
And I know I always like read the chat and go off topic. I think she has that werewolf syndrome, Cheryl.
Yes, she does.
Because if you look, and you know those, I don't know if you've ever seen them, those werewolf cats where they have hair coming out of their ears and like everywhere. They're Persians, and it's a defective gene in them. So I think that's what she has, a little taste of it.
Robin. Oh, Robin, I'm sorry. You lost your mom when she was 15, or you were 15. I can't even talk.
I don't even know what I would do. But anyway, we had a very tumultuous relationship. And I think it's common a lot of times. I think girls don't get along with their mothers until they're older, right? Isn't that a thing?
Oh, yeah. I used to fight with my mom all the time, you know, and argue with her. And then once I grew up and had my own daughter, it was much different.
Right. And that happened to me too. But I always used to say that my dad was my favorite parent. And you should never say anything like that. But I did. I didn't tell her that. I would tell her.
No.
And when she passed away, I'm telling you, I felt like something was ripped from me, like ripped out of my body. It was, I never expected to feel so bad. And everybody grieves differently. So you can't say, you know, oh, I know how you feel, because everybody deals with death differently and feels differently.
Right, right.
I lost 40 pounds when my mom passed away. My other cat, Jane, has 6 toes. I lost 40 pounds. I was in and out of the hospital like 4 times because I was having such horrible panic attacks. I thought I was having heart attacks. So I would go to the emergency room with chest pains. 40 pounds. I wouldn't leave my house. I wouldn't sleep. I made the kids sleep in the bedroom with me and the animals because I was terrified that I was going to see her. Oh my God, it was horrible. It was so horrible. I was torn to pieces. I could not imagine being a young girl at 15 and losing a parent, because I could barely handle it at my age. It was ridiculous.
It was ridiculous. And yeah, I just think, I don't know how I did it, but like the day of my mom's funeral, after the luncheon, I went home and got changed and went to a job interview and nailed the job.
Oh, wow.
My mom knew though that I had gotten the call for the interview and she was pretty excited about it. And obviously she didn't control when she passed away and I had to reschedule it for a few days later and I went the day of my mom's funeral. I
Wow.
don't know how I did that.
I don't know how you did it either. I do have a kind of the Wondering Sub, really? I'm happy that she turned around then.
Oh,
I often wonder how there's kids that get emancipated at that
yeah.
age,
Yep.
how they make it. You got to be one tough kid, one tough cookie. So when my mother's wishes were to not be buried, um, she wanted to be cremated, and she didn't want to be. She was very specific. She did not want to be sitting in a vase. She said in somebody's living room. So she wanted me to put her ashes in. There was a creek right by her childhood home,
Uh-huh.
and she wanted me to spread her ashes over the creek because she loved to play there when she was little. And my mom had a tough life when she was growing up. Her parents my grandparents were awful. So anyway, her fond memories in her childhood home were this creek, and she wanted her ashes spread there. So I'm obviously going to honor that. So the day of the funeral, the funeral procession goes to the house that she grew up in. And my mom had 6 brothers and sisters.
Oh, wow.
So these are all her sisters.
Wow.
She had a brother. So there were 6 kids. But he's not in the picture. This is just all my aunts and her. My mom's in the middle. So everybody had to get in the car and go to the childhood home. Well, they all had a bad life because they all had the same parents, right? So it was very, 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 very triggering for my aunts and uncles. But anyway, we went. And so I go to spread the ashes, and they had built the creek bed up about 8 feet. It never used to be that way. You used to be able to literally step out of the yard to the home and into the creek if you wanted to. So I don't know if it must have flooded, so they built it up, which we weren't aware of until we got there. So I had to lean over the bluff, I guess, and spread the ashes. And do you know, Leanne, I spread those ashes and they all went over me. The wind at that moment went backwards.
Oh, no.
I was literally standing there covered in my mother's ashes. I am not kidding.
Oh, no.
I almost freaking lost it.
Yeah.
I don't know how I had it together. Oh my God. So, I mean, if you think about it, that's something like kind of you would see in a comedy. But at the moment, it was completely the worst thing that could ever happen. And the wind, I even checked. I'm like, the wind is going in the right direction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just as I started to spread her ashes, they came at me.
Oh, God.
And I was laying on the ground over the bluff. So it's not like I could get up and run.
Yeah, exactly.
By the time I got, retainer wall, Kelly. I'm calling it a bluff. You can tell I live near the ocean. Anything high over the water to me is a bluff. Robin said, one of my friends wanted to be stuffed and displayed at the post office. Are you serious?
My dad wants to be cremated, and my stepmom told my daughter, well, I just plan on sprinkling him in my flower bed. And my daughter just lost her shit on this woman.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm absolutely serious.
Why the flower bed? Is it sentimental?
No. She just thought that would be a good place to put him.
Oh my God.
And I said, at this rate, hell, I'll flush him down the toilet.
Oh God.
And my brother's like, yeah, let's do that.
That's awful. That's awful. The Wondering Sub, I want to be a firework. They do that. I think they do that. I
think you're right.
Yeah. And I think they also do tattoos.
Yes, and they do jewelry.
What else?
Yep, you can get like jewelry made out of ashes, rings and earrings and stuff.
I've seen beautiful paintings
Yeah.
where they use just the ashes in the paint, and they make these.
Mm-hmm.
They're really expensive. I looked at them. Yes, you can put them into diamonds. You're right, Robin. So you guys have to go out on the porch with me so I could smoke, so we can freeze together.
You're so funny. You're freezing.
Oh my God, it's cold as hell. My wind chimes are going 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
been really windy here today too.
And resin, yeah. But yeah, they do all kinds of things. But I do think they do fireworks. I want my ash. So I don't know if you guys knew Lucy, my other Persian, before I got Millie. But she was 17, but she was my mother's. And Lucy hated everybody in the world except my mother. So when my mother passed, I had to take Lucy. And Lucy hid in the rafters of my basement for 2 weeks. I had to call animal control to get her out because I didn't want her to die. She wouldn't come out. And I would leave food at the entrance and she would eat it. But then I'm like, you know what? She's going to go to the bathroom in there, you know?
Yes.
So I had to call animal control to get her out. And ever since that day, she had this like epiphany where she loved me and only me. So I was very, very attached to Lucy. She was 17 when she passed, but she was my mom's first. And when Lucy passed, I got her ashes, and I did save a little pouch of my mother's ashes in this little tiny little beautiful box, similar to the one they gave me of Lucy's ashes, and I have them sitting with each other on top of my dresser.
Oh.
With a little angel.
Blissful said, my dad had a very sick sense of humor. He wanted to be cremated, and after a few sick requests, he said, okay, put me in the cat box. That's funny.
But you know, when that happened to me, when her ashes flew all over me, I know that she was laughing somewhere.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure of that.
My mom had a snarky sense of humor. She used to tell me my mom had COPD, so we knew that she was going to pass away eventually, but she died suddenly. And you know, I didn't request like an autopsy because I'm pretty sure it was the nurses thought it was an aneurysm or whatever. But anyway, neither here nor there. But she would tell me, when I do pass away, I'm going to haunt you. You just watch, I'm going to haunt you. Because she knows how terrified I am of seeing a ghost. So she would tell me that. And you know what I said? I said, go ahead. Your ass is going to be stuck on the porch because I'll salt all around the house and you won't get in. And she's like, you would do that, you bitch. And she got pissed at me and didn't talk to me for a day. So I called her and I'm like, Mom, are we really not speaking? Because I decided in your future death that I'm not going to allow you to haunt me and I'm going to put salt out so you got to sit on the porch. And then we just started laughing and made up.
My mom used to tell me she was going to haunt me, and I used to tell her, good. When you do, though, give me a little forewarning so I can get all my ghost hunting stuff set up first, okay?
And then she never did, though.
No, and she has never talked to me. Nope, she has not. My daughter happened to catch a recording in EVP one time. She was at the cemetery, and she put the phone just set to record and laid it on my mom's stone and was just talking to my mom, and you hear a whisper that's very plainly says, I love you.
Oh, for the love of Pete.
So she clearly talks to my daughter. My Nana did that same thing with me a couple years after she died. I was devastated when I lost my grandma. I was out there with a ghost hunting group, and you can hear them ask me on the recorder, like, can you tell us who this is? I'm like, these are my grandparents. And they asked me for permission to put the recorder to sit on the stone because, you know, that doesn't hurt anything. And so I said, that's fine. And you hear us walking away, and then you hear a voice also say, I love you.
My ass, I don't care if you're telling me you love me. If I hear that shit, I'm running.
I was excited.
All around the house.
I was excited. I was like, yes, that's my Nana. And that was at the cemetery when that happened. And I was pretty excited about that.
Well, I mean, I'm happy for you. But if that happened to me, hell no. I told you about that haunted house I lived in.
Yes.
She said her mom told her she's going to pull her toes at night.
I would die. Geez.
I would die. You'd have to give me sleeping pills for the rest of my life. Wait, let me see what everybody said. I got it. It's funny.
71 said, if I was cremated, I'd want to be scattered in a swamp by my worst enemy so that the gators and crocs could eat them.
I don't believe you have enemies, 71. If I go before you, Christiane, I'm going to haunt you. You better not, Robin, because I'll salt your ass. I don't play. Me and the ghost don't play. I would shit my pants too, Kelly. Oh, hell no. When my mom passed, she did come. She had this bracelet, matching bracelet, earring, and necklace set. Because with COPD, she couldn't get around like she used to, and she loved to shop. So she got addicted to the Home Shopping Network. I am not even kidding. When she passed, I had 8 jewelry boxes full of Home Shopping Network jewelry.
Oh my God.
And, you know, some of that's really nice, inexpensive,
Yeah,
and real.
right.
So she had one set. It was beautiful, a matching set, and the bracelet had bells. I'll have to show you guys. I have it in a special little glass dish. The bracelet had bells, so every time she walked, she would jingle. When she died 2 nights after, do you know I heard that damn jingle bell bracelet in my living room for about a week straight? And I know it was her. I would lay in my bed and say, Mom, please go to heaven. Please, you're scaring me.
Fish, yeah. Did we feel it when our moms passed? I did. My mom had cancer, and she had said, if I end up going to the hospital, because she didn't want us to be there, and she said, I won't lay there in a coma. I will make sure that I go so you don't have to sit there and watch me, linger for weeks. And I'm not kidding you. She went into the hospital on June 30th. And she was awake and alert, and they told us to go ahead and go get some lunch. We came back, and the woman was in a coma. She never woke up again. And the next morning, I went like at 7 a.m. to see her, and I knew she was breathing weird, and I just had that weird feeling. Yeah. And so I left, and I was not even out of the parking lot when I got the news that she had died.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So it was less than 24 hours that she had been in the hospital. And I knew as soon as she went into a coma that she said, I'm headed out of here. When that happens, I'm gone.
One Red Rose said her daughter would tell about her grandpa would push her on her swing. But the thing was, he passed away before she was born. Oh, wow.
Oh, cool.
That is cool. I'd be running. No, I felt it when my mom died. Very strongly, and we had plans. So she wasn't driving anymore, so she wanted to sell her car, and she had a buyer for it, but she wanted to make sure it had like an oil change, and my mom was a good person.
Hey, Irvin.
Like most people would say, okay, come buy the car, and not, as is it is. She wanted to make sure it had a tune-up and an oil change. So she was like, can you come pick me up, and let's take my car down the street to the Jen and Jersey said, I'm almost ready to bed. You want to hear them? I can tell you some. She goes, will you take me down the street to get the car tuned up so that I can sell it to this man that I'm selling it to? And I'm like, yes. And it was on a Monday. She said, okay, my appointment's on Wednesday at 9. And I'm like, okay. So I get up, take Bella to school, and I go to my mom's and knock on the door. Well, first I called her and she wasn't answering, which wasn't unusual because at that point she was on pain medicine because when you have COPD, pain medicine is supposed to be able to help you breathe easier.
Oh,
so
right.
You don't get anxiety because you can't breathe. So it wasn't like a lot. They had her on a very low dose, but my mom was very tiny and never really took pills or did any of that in her life. So I figured, she's sleeping. It wasn't unusual for her not to answer the phone. And there were many times where I would panic when she didn't and drive to her house, thinking something happened to her and nothing happened to her. So I went home and about 2 hours passed. It was like around 11. And I started calling her again, and she wasn't answering. And then I started to get worried.
Right.
So I called my aunt, which is her sister, and I said, I haven't been able to get a hold of my mom. Have you talked to her? And she goes, oh, I tried calling her a little bit ago, and her line was busy. She must have knocked the phone off or something, because my mom always did that too. So then I stopped worrying, and I waited for her to call me. And I had a recliner then. I sat in a recliner, and I was really tired because I was up all night the night before sewing a costume for Bella. I fell asleep, and I jumped up out of a dead sleep because I knew she was gone.
Oh, wow.
And I called my aunts again. I said, my mom is gone. I can feel it. And they were like, no, you always feel like something's happened. I'm sure she's fine. So I get in the car, and the doors were locked, and all the lights were on in the house. So, and it was still daytime. And every light you could see was on in the house, but I couldn't get in the door. She had the deadbolt locked. I had the key, but not the deadbolt, locked from the inside.
Yeah.
So I had to call the police, and the fire company came and broke in, and I found her passed away.
Oh gosh, that's
but I
terrible.
felt it. I knew it.
You knew already.
Knew it. I woke from a dead sleep and knew it.
Fish said when my niece was 3 or 4, her grandpa passed. One morning, she said Grandpa Al was in my room and said goodbye.
Wait, I missed that. Say it again.
Fish said when my niece was 3 or 4, her grandpa passed. One morning, she said Grandpa Al was in my room and said goodbye.
Oh my goodness.
My niece was 12. My oldest niece was 12 when my mom passed away. And she said it was really weird that morning. She had gotten up to go to the bathroom and went back to bed, and she wasn't quite asleep. And she said she literally felt somebody sit down on the bed, and she turned over, and there was nobody there. So she firmly believes that my mom stopped by to say goodbye.
Yeah. Well, I told you what would happen in my haunted house, and it wasn't anybody I was related to. My haunted house, you would always feel somebody sit down next to you. And there was no mistaking it. There was no, you could feel a subtle movement. And if you're alone at night and maybe watched a scary movie, you might trick yourself into thinking that.
Sure. Right.
It was very evident that something was sitting next to you. And I told you it would mimic voices.
Yes.
So if I would be at work when I owned a nightclub, and he would go to bed at night, we always kept our bedroom door shut. It would knock on the door and yell his name in my voice. And then he worked day in the mornings. So while I was sleeping in the morning, it would bang on the door and yell my name in his voice.
That's so crazy.
And I am telling you, it happened over and over again to both of us. And then one time my cousin came over, we were having a party, a holiday party. Oh no, we were playing cards. We used to do Texas Hold'em nights every weekend. And she came over to play cards, and she said, I'm going to run up and use the bathroom. So she comes down like 20 minutes later, and she's like, why were you banging on the bathroom door, you weirdo? And I did not have the heart to tell her, but the damn thing did it to her.
It did it to her.
Yep.
Sandy says, I think my niece comes to our house all the time. She passed when she was 26. Does not scare me, but freaks everyone else out. She always says, oh, that's just Amanda.
Yeah. I'm telling you guys. I'm too terrified to see a ghost because it's just going to solidify for me that there are ghosts. Even though I believe in them.
It's startling when you see your first one, yes. It is.
I just don't know, like, what do you do? You know what I mean? If you're in heaven, do you just get a hall pass and you come down and visit people? Like, how does that even work?
I have no idea. That's something that no one's ever discovered yet.
And if you're at peace and they always, well, I'm Catholic, so I was taught when you pass, you forget all worldly things.
Right.
Well, clearly that's not the case if you're visiting people.
See, and I was raised, my grandma was part Native American and the Cherokee tribe. And so I was very much raised in a home where, I learned all kinds of beliefs about things. And so I I was raised fully believing that there is some sort of afterlife. I wish I could explain that, as most, I've done so much ghost hunting and stuff, and that's not something that anyone's ever asked. So I'm like, Mom, come on, come down here and tell me, what do you do all day?
I need to. If I ever meet a ghost, I'm asking them, "What do you do all day?" Because I don't want to be bored. Did you see what Cheryl said? She said, "My mom passed at 4:15 in the morning. I woke up at the exact time, feeling a heaviness on my chest. I looked at the clock and it was 4:15. At 4:25, the nursing. Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Wow.
OG. That house was so haunted. When we moved out before we sold it. We bought another house and it was still not sold. So it was empty and we were showing it. And our neighbors would call us and tell us there were people in the house. They could see them walking past the picture window in the living room. At least 4 or 5 times that happened. And we would drive down there because it wasn't very far. And there was nobody in the house. It was the damn ghost. That house was so haunted. You could feel it. It was heavy. It was so heavy. And I would see orbs. No, I never did see a ghost, Jen, but I would see orbs. And you know where I saw them the most?
Where?
When I was in the damn shower. So whatever it was a pervert.
Yeah, well, we lived in a house. My daughter was about 14 and it was just her and I. And I will never forget this. I was at work and it was in the summertime. And she had gotten in the shower and was getting ready to go somewhere. And while she was in the shower curtain ripped itself open, like someone grabbed it and opened it.
Oh my God.
And there was nobody there.
You would have to pick me up off the ground.
That was the scariest house. There was all kinds of stuff that would happen in that house. But, oh my God, she called me just hysterical. So I came home and I was like, I don't know what you want me to do. There's nobody here.
Oh, no.
It was awful. No. We ended up moving.
So this house, it was before I moved in with my husband before we got married. So he bought it right before we got married and I moved in. He was living there before me. And the first night that I stayed there, he had to get up for work very early in the morning. So it was dark. And he gets up. I'm still like half asleep. He kisses me on the forehead and said, "Okay, I'll call you at lunchtime." I'm like, "Okay, I'm just going to be unpacking all day." I start to drift off to sleep. Oh, and he said, "And I'm running late. I got to get moving." So I start to fall back to sleep and I hear banging, like the kitchen drawers, like in the refrigerator and the cabinets banging, and the kitchen was at the bottom of the stairs, and our bedroom, the master bedroom, was the first bedroom at the top of the stairs, so you could hear everything that was going on downstairs. So I get up, I'm like, Jesus, what the hell was he doing? I'm not living with a man that's just freaking loud at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So I get out of bed and I'm standing at the top of the steps and I'm yelling down, "What the hell are you doing down there? You're loud as hell." No answer. And I'm like, "Hello? Why are you being so loud? I thought you were running late." And as I'm saying that, I'm walking down the steps. I get to the bottom of the steps and round the corner to go into the kitchen. There was nobody there. None of the kitchen cabinets were open. None of the drawers were open. The refrigerator was shut. It looked like nothing had happened.
Yep, I've heard of that stuff too.
That ghost was welcoming my ass. So you know what I did? I said, "Oh, hell no." I keys at 4:30 in the morning. I jumped my ass in the car and I drove around until the sun went up, until the daylight broke. And I called him and I said, "I'm not fucking living here. Why would you move me into a haunted house?" He laughed his ass off. He not because he didn't believe me, because he was experiencing shit too and thought it was hilarious.
Oh my gosh. Did you see 71 said she's been having snake dreams 2 nights in a row, and that means a sign of evil around her. And she's seen a ghost and talked to it a few times in her dreams. And then she also said, "My dead animals even come back to visit me, and my ex who died visited me twice in my dreams."
That's interesting.
I've
seen videos of animals, people's pets, where they're taking like family photos and
they show up.
Yes, you'll see like their freaking golden retriever sitting next to them in spirit form.
That's so cool.
We should look at one of those videos. Will that bother anybody? Hemi never saw a ghost. I've heard ghosts. I haven't seen one. 71 said, I saw an angel at 6 the moment my dad died and my brother and I got his. Are you serious? What does an angel look like?
So I'll tell you a story about an angel. I don't remember this. I was literally a newborn baby, but I was born in the early 70s. Yes, I'm old. And I was born with a birth defect. I guess like when we drink, there's a valve towards our stomach. And I don't know what the medical terminology is, but it opens and closes if you eat or drink something, which makes sense. Well, mine wouldn't close. It laid open. So my formula would back up into my lungs and pretty much drown me. And I don't know how many times they had me at doctors and specialists and nobody knew what to do. So they would put me to bed in my car seat in the crib. I had to sit up all the time.
So you would be up. Yeah.
Yep, all the time. And my mom and dad were just at their wits' end because nobody knew what the heck to do with me, really, you know?
Yeah.
And my mom, one day I was taking a nap and she was folding towels, and the way that their bedroom was, I was, of course, in this bedroom with my parents, and the couch was literally just right outside the bedroom door in the living room.
Yeah.
And so my mom was folding towels and she heard a noise and she thought it was me. She thought I was waking up. So she stepped in the room. And when she did, she said she saw the most beautiful woman she had ever seen in her life. And it was just like you see in, paintings and stuff with these big wings. And she had this long dark hair that was kind of wavy. And she touched me on my forehead enough that I moved, my mom said. I stirred a little bit. And she turned around and looked at my mom and smiled, and she was gone. And my mom was terrified that meant that I was going to die or something,
Yeah.
Well, they were taking me to the doctor a couple weeks later for my regular checkups, and they couldn't explain why I was getting a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better till eventually I was completely healed, and there was no reason that I should have been.
So maybe it was your guardian angel.
So I think it may have been my guardian angel, and maybe that's why I do the paranormal stuff that I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I died when I was a baby.
Really?
Yeah. It was my christening day, and my dad tells everybody this story. So it was my christening day, and my mom went in to get me up, to get me dressed for the church, and I was purple. I was not breathing and I was completely purple. And she started screaming for my dad. And he came into the bedroom and held me up by my feet and started smacking me. And they called the ambulance. I was still purple. And the ambulance came and they rushed me to Pittsburgh Children's Hospital and did a spinal tap or something. They did all these. I came through. The ambulance was able to revive me. And then I came through and they did a spinal tap and all these things. They could find absolutely nothing wrong with me.
Oh my gosh.
On my christening day.
Wow.
I always thought, oh my gosh, what does that mean? You die on your christening day? Does that mean I'm evil? You know what I mean?
Not at all.
It was probably SIDS.
Yeah, I bet you're right.
Yeah, with enough time.
Wow. One Red Rose said, my granddaughter was born sleeping in 2015. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And my mother, who passed in 2002, came to her and said, don't worry, Emma is with me. Oh
my goodness. That has to be so calming.
Yes. See,
that stuff brings me peace, but not when you see shit. No, if it's in a dream, I can handle it, but not when it's in.
Well, but a lot of times in the dreams, like if you're seeing a spirit, if you say like your mom shows up in your dreams, she's really there. She's conveying a message to you.
Yeah, that's a little easier to handle. Let's watch a video of the I wonder if I can find it. I'm going to find it. Let's just keep talking until I do.
Yeah, 71, you are very gifted. I would say when it comes to the spirit world, you're definitely gifted.
You saw all that. I couldn't handle it though. I literally would have an anxiety attack and fall on the ground and turn into a statue.
Oh, I
Not-
learned from the time I was really little. My nana would always teach me when we would go on the cemetery, how sometimes you have to step on a grave and you can't avoid it, but otherwise she would teach me in my mind to say, excuse me, and I still do that to this day. She
I
said,
do that too.
you
Yeah.
always want to be respectful. And I used to tell her, why do I feel like people are watching me? And she would say, because they are.
Oh God, don't say that. I gotta sleep tonight,
My
lady.
brother, but that was at the cemetery is when I felt that a lot. But my brother can see people that have passed on.
You
I
told
can't.
me that.
Yeah, I can't. I can sense them. And every once in a while, I can kind of hear them a little bit. Depends on, have you ever heard like somebody call your name? Well, yeah, you said in that house.
Yeah, oh yeah, it called my name all the time. But it would be in the voice of my husband.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
And I looked it up and they said usually when that happens, when they can mimic voices, they're poltergeists. And I'm like, oh my God, we're moving. We literally sold that house for those reasons. I couldn't live there anymore. It was that bad.
Yeah,
I mean,
those are usually called doppelgangers, is what those are called when they can mimic voices of people that, like you or your husband. Yeah, those are called doppelgangers, and they're usually not the nicest spirits.
it was mischievous. It got to the point where I was no longer afraid of it. I
Yeah.
never saw anything, it never presented itself. It just would do things. And it got to the point where, like, if we would come home from the bar a little tipsy, you could feel it. Like I said, it was a really heavy feeling when it was around, and I would tell it off.
Kelly Belly, yep, I still do that at the cemetery. I always say, excuse me, pardon me, or I'm sorry. I think it in my head when I'm, or if I'm at a funeral or something and you have no choice, but sometimes you have to stand on someone's grave while you're, at the graveside service. I'll sit there in my mind and think, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me for standing on you.
Okay, I found a good one for everyone.
Okay, I'll mute.
This is a story about a ghost dog that was a family pet that visited after it passed. So we have to mute.
Yep.
I did $12,000, and that was like, wow, that was cool. And it got to the point.
When we were first married, we were at a street fair and a woman was holding this lost dog in her arms. We had just bought a house and we were so happy and we thought we can help with that dog. So we took the dog home and we named him Spot. Had 3 kids and they grew up with Spot. He was the greatest dog. He was so much fun. And he was just part of the fabric of our everyday life.
Spot, and how old are you now?
And when he passed away, we buried him on the hill behind the house. And there he was. Some years later, we moved out of that house and we were at a nearby park and we happened to run into the people who bought our house where Spot was buried. And they said, well, we wondered if your dog was a white terrier with a black spot on him. 2 separate people on 2 separate occasions have seen a dog almost like a hologram at the end of the hall. We were just like, oh my goodness, that has to be Spot, a spirit of Spot down the hall. Isn't that bizarre? I know that they truly saw Spot, because how else could they describe a dog that they'd never met? I'm not exactly sure what to make of it, but if he was coming back to check on us, I just wanted Spot to know that we were okay. And it's just Spot was just such a part of us, Maybe he didn't want to let us go. What do you think?
That is such a cute little story there. That's awesome.
I know, but I wanted to see Spot's ghost. We got to find another one. Hold on. Well, you can go ahead and read to everybody. Okay, Kelly, thank you.
Yep. Thanks, Kelly.
I'll find us one because I remember seeing videos of people, it's like family pictures showing them, and I thought it was so amazing.
Yeah, you see a lot of that on Paranormal Caught on Camera. If anybody ever has watched that show or if you're bored, it's usually on Saturdays a lot on Travel Channel. And they usually have some good videos. People will film stuff and send it in, and they talk about it. You know, they have like experts that'll talk about the video a little bit. And some of those are pretty good. They've caught, you know, like ghost dogs on like video cameras and on like security cameras.
Oh, wow. Okay, here's one. It says dog spirit with a question mark. So they say he appears from the rock and enters the house. Okay, so let's see if we see him. I got to stop this screen and mute.
I know, Cheryl Steele, I thought that two poor spots wondering where his peeps are.
Can't go? Do this to clear out stuck poop fast. Fiber helps you poop, right? Nope. According to
That's cool. That was pretty cool.
This video, I'm going to share with you a trip that I took to Tucson.
I saw it. It was a dog and it was standing at his feet.
Yep.
Did you guys see it?
Yep.
I know that was a shitty ad, Callie Belly. I was muted and I'm like, why is it that every time I try to share something, like last night, you know what I was sharing by accident. I shared a peen by accident. Tonight, someone's pooping on the toilet.
I know,
But
right?
I saw that perfectly. It was a dog. It came from the yard.
Yep.
You missed it, OG? I got to play it again. Watch it. Okay, I'm going to play it again, Leanne.
Okay. I almost wonder if that person felt that, because did you see how that dog came up by the legs, by the person's legs, and then the person turns around?
Yeah.
So I almost wonder if they felt it or sensed it there.
Yeah. Did you
Sorry.
see it, OG? You saw it, Hemi? Did you see it, OG?
It's cool.
Do you think it was real, Leanne?
Yes.
Why?
Yeah, that appears to me to be off of like a security camera. And it looks, the way that it just manifests and comes up there, it looks like it's real to me.
Oh my gosh.
It would be really hard to fake that one.
Oh, okay. Let's find one more. This is interesting to me. I feel bad. We have animals running around looking for their owners, probably.
They probably know where their owners are.
You think?
Yep.
Oh, what am I doing? All right, let's see. Dog spirits coming home. A tour of heaven. I'm not ready for that. Pets in the afterlife. A few odd minutes. Should we watch that?
I don't know what that one's about. If it's actual videos or what. Fish didn't see that dog on the last one.
You missed it again?
It comes from the yard up onto the porch.
Here, I'll play it one more time for you, just because you're our OG. Yes, you got to look in the yard. There's a big rock, and you'll see it manifest.
It's black.
Here it is.
And it comes running
This is
up
for all
on
my
the
LA
porch.
friends out there. If you hate going to the store to try on makeup like I do, I'm about to change your world. My friend told me about this service called AirShop.
I still think that's so cool.
I felt bad for it. It's like he was thought it was his owner. He was going to let him in the house.
Maybe it was his owner
Maybe it was.
and it just was coming to visit. My dad saw when I was little, we had a hunting dog, and that's when Parvo first started out, and she ended up getting Parvo and dying, and he was just devastated because that was his hunting buddy. He hunted pheasants. And so one morning he was going out to go to work, and he felt something on his hand, and he looked down, and there she was nudging his hand, and it was
Oh,
her
my.
spirit. He could see straight through her, and she kind of wagged his tail at him and then just disappeared.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I
Yep.
think he felt it too because he turned around like that. And
Yep.
was looking out, like, definitely. I agree, Hemi and Kelly.
Yep.
71. Wait, I missed it. Now I got to go all the way back and see what 71. Oh, when she was 19, she fell off of a hammock, hit her head, and left her body and almost died. That's probably why you have the gift.
Yep.
I betcha. Okay, let's try that one video, Leanne. It might have been an interesting one. What do you think?
I don't
That
know. I
one
guess
that
you can
asked
try it.
about? All right. Because it looked like it had that thing on this kind of. All right, we'll see. If it's stupid, I'll stop it.
I'm Rob Guttrow. I'm a medium and a member of the Inspired Ghost Tracking Team in Hanover, Maryland. Daytime, I'm a scientist, so I use my abilities as a medium to get answers about why ghosts stay behind or help spirits come to communicate with their loved ones. I first got interested in pets in the afterlife when a puppy that I had passed in 2005. And he became the world's best canine communicator, and he actually showed me all the different ways that dogs and cats can communicate from the other side. I've written 2 books about them, and both of them contain all the different ways that I've found that pets communicate from spirit or as a ghost. And there's a difference between the 2 of those. The difference between a ghost and a spirit is location, basically. When we die, our memories, personality, and knowledge combine with the energy within us, and we make a choice to stay here, earthbound, what I call a ghost, or we cross over into the light, to heaven, whatever, as a spirit. So there's a difference in the entity's location, but otherwise they're the same. Any animal actually has the choice to stay behind if they want to. Oftentimes, cats or dogs, like people, will stay behind because they don't want to leave their owner or their parent. Other times, there's something else that they want to do, and they stay behind, just like a person. They have unfinished business. Pets communicate in a number of different ways, and they actually communicate very similarly to humans. They can, of course, make themselves known by brushing against you. You can actually hear them. You can hear nails on the floor. You can hear them meow or bark. Sometimes you see them as a fast motion blur out of the corner of your eye. Other times they'll lead you to another pet that looks like them when you're thinking of them. There are a lot of spirit animals that come back from time to time into people's houses. In terms of spirit, it's all about love that draws the animal or the person back. So many people have reported different sightings of their pets who passed. And what's interesting is that if you have living pets, they can actually see and hear the other pets in spirit. With pets, they have a different configuration in their eyes, in the cones and rods of their eyes, so they're actually able to see faster movement. And we found as paranormal investigators that spirits move at a higher vibration. So dogs and cats can actually see that vibration, that higher vibration, so they can see them. They also hear at higher frequencies, if you think of a dog whistle. In paranormal investigating, we use a digital recorder to pick those higher and lower frequencies up. Dogs and cats can hear them. A pet can come to you anywhere if the pet has crossed over and is a spirit. If a pet is a ghost, they're typically restricted to the environment in which they've chosen. So ghosts usually don't move from house to house. They pick the place they're familiar with in life. Spirits, on the other hand, once they cross over, they can appear anywhere, anytime. I have actually had to cross a dog over as a ghost. And the way I did that was you basically open a portal of light, a portal to the other side. And what I did is I took treats, physical treats, and I threw them through, and the dog chased them. So you'd probably have to do that with a cat, although cats are harder to train.
Yes, they are. They're very
That was kind of interesting.
That was super interesting. And now I know why Millie doesn't love me.
Because she can see Lucy.
She can see Lucy. That's what I'm going to tell myself to make me feel better.
She can.
Wow. Huh?
She can see her, I bet.
I know, but I just don't think she likes me just because she doesn't like me. But maybe I'll tell myself that so I feel better about it.
There you go.
That was very interesting. I
Yeah.
got a lesson. I wanted to see a ghost dog though, but it is what it is. We didn't get to see it.
Well, we did see the one.
Yes, that was definitely epic.
Yes.
I hope that was his owner, because you heard that guy say they stay earthbound usually because they don't want to leave their owner.
Yeah.
So I hope that little old man was his owner.
It
And he
probably was.
feeding him. That would
That
be
was pretty
horrible.
cool.
And it said that when you're a ghost, you're stuck in one place that you pick. So that poor dog's stuck in the yard. Right?
Yeah, if it doesn't move on to the spiritual realm, then yeah. But maybe Spot just on that one video with Spot, maybe Spot hadn't gone on to the spiritual realm, and that's why it was still just hanging around the house there.
Yeah, that's true. We have to do a ghost night. We got to do a paranormal night, Leanne, that you need
Definitely.
to host, so everybody can talk about all of their experiences. And we should
Yeah.
open the panel up
We
and
could have a
people
panel
talk.
and have people come up and tell their stories.
Yeah, that would be so interesting. Although I'll have to take a Valium before I go to bed that night because I won't be able to sleep. The last time you did it, I couldn't sleep for 3 weeks. I was seeing and hearing ghosts everywhere.
They are everywhere.
Don't tell me that. I'll never forget that I was on Natasha's panel once, and somebody messaged me and said they saw a woman behind me.
Oh,
And
I
I'm like,
remember
oh,
that.
remember I called you? And I'm
Yes,
like,
and you were
is there-
scared to death.
I was terrified. Terrified. I wouldn't even sit in my kitchen for days. I would not even go in there. Yeah, I
That's
think we
probably
should
your
do
mom.
that. It's been a minute since we've done a paranormal stream.
I'm sure it was your mom.
I don't know. I'm telling you, my mom knows I'm too terrified. Jen said, I will try not to be afraid and learn more about it. Yeah, I think I like if you do a stream where we're just not like playing scary videos and scaring everybody, but more like an educational thing. I think that would be so cool. And then people can share their stories and you can try to explain to us what's happening
Yeah, we can do that.
in an educational way. Don't you think?
Yes, all those scary videos are fun.
71, they are. We need to do those. We did that stream that one night where we did the is it fact or fiction videos? That was fun.
That was fun.
71 has to come up and tell us about herself
Heck
when
yeah.
we do it. 71, if we do a stream like that, will you come on panel and talk? Tell us what you do. You need to get, I'm Italian, okay? And I told this story before, but I'll tell it again. In Italian culture, there's something called the maluk. And what the maluk is it's when somebody puts the evil eye, quote unquote, the evil eye on you and brings pretty much bad karma and bad luck to your life. So it's usually somebody that dislikes you and they want to see you suffer. So you'll spend months, even years, where things just never go right. And the only way to get them to look off of you is there's one trained woman in the Italian family at a time. And it's usually one of the older women. And they're the only ones that know the ritual to remove the maluk. And it's with oils and certain prayers that you do to remove the evil eye off of you.
Huh.
So, yeah. So in my family, the last woman that knew the ritual was my Aunt Agnes. and she passed away when she was in her 90s.
Oh, wow.
So before you pass, you're supposed to teach who you choose to pass it down to. And instead of her choosing a woman, she chose my dad. So my dad knows the ritual, the secret ritual, and he won't show me it, but he has removed the look off of me. And the prayers are in silence often, and just the way you prepare the oils, you don't see it happening. You just enter the room when everything's already prepared. But when you put your hand in the bowl of water and oils, you can literally see after the prayers are over, all of the oils separate.
Wow.
But before the prayer, while your hand is in there, the oil is all around your hand. And
Huh.
if it's successful after the prayers, all the oil separate. You physically see it happen. And then the maluk is removed from you and your life improves. So 71, you need the maluk taken off you if you're dreaming of cobras and
Go
stuff.
see a shaman. That's what happened to me. I had an attachment, and a shaman actually cleared me of it. It was the weirdest thing. I was in like a meditative state, and I could
Wow.
hear what he was doing and stuff, but it was like my body was, it was almost like I was paralyzed or something. I couldn't move while he
Oh,
was
wow.
getting the attachment away from me. And after he was done and I woke up, I felt 100% better. I felt much lighter, and it was
Yeah,
crazy.
that's how the maluk is. And
Yeah.
you know, this is going to sound crazy. I don't know if we have, Jen heard of maluk. I don't know if we have other Catholics in the chat, but you know, you have to go through your rites, right? And one of your rites is the confession, your first confession. And it's a big to do. It's usually when you're in 3rd grade, and you wear this beautiful white dress and a white veil, and you go to church and you go into the confessional booth and you confess your sins for the first time. And you have to say whatever the priest gives you, how many Our Fathers and Hail Marys. So, and you get a rosary as a gift for your first confession, and a white Bible, and it's a big thing, and especially when you're an Italian Catholic. So I had my first confession when I'll never forget it. I was in 3rd grade. I mean, how evil or how bad can you be at 3rd grade, right? You're going in to confess sins, but how big are your sins really?
Exactly.
Like, oh, I lied to my mom about eating my spaghetti and I fed it to the dog kind of shit.
Right.
But anyway, you're a kid and you think that those are big deals when you lie and stuff like that. Plus, you know, you shouldn't be breaking commandments anyway. So anyway, you know, that's how you feel when you're brought up in that culture. Right now, I don't believe in Catholicism. I'm more spiritual, but I was brought up very Catholic. But anyway, I had my first confession. In the minute I left that confessional and said my penance, I felt like 50,000 bricks were unloaded off my body as a 3rd grader.
Oh, wow.
I remember it. I was being silly and running around and just felt so light and goofy and hyper. And it was really a feeling. And I say I don't believe in Catholicism, but I always come back to that memory when I question my beliefs. Because why would I feel that light if it didn't really work? You know what I mean?
Do you have kids yelling at each other?
Yes, just like yesterday. They're in there beating each other up.
Oh.
Come here, Millie. Come on. They're horse playing. Let me show you. Poor Millie's terrified of them.
She's like, what is going on?
Here, let me get Millie. She's terrified. Come here, baby. Do you sense Lucy near me, Millie?
She probably does. She probably sees her.
Don't say that. I would die if I saw Lucy. I'd be terrified.
Why?
I think that would be scarier to see a cat ghost than a human ghost.
No.
Look at her. Yeah, let's plan that, guys. Let's do a 71 said Millie needs to stay with me for a while. You can play with her. She can chase your ghost away. They'll be terrified of this monster.
Look at her face. Millie. Millie. She's like, damn it, don't put me on that camera.
She's so used to it because we've been doing it since she was a baby.
Yep.
It was her birthday 2 days ago. She's no longer a baby.
Oh, she's mad.
She's pissed. She's a bitch. Thank you, 71. All right, so we should do that this week, Leanne. Should we do
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, we can do it.
That would be fun. All right. Well, it's now 10 o'clock in LA. I need to get to bed because I have to get up at 4 for
Yeah,
work.
I've got a doctor's appointment in the morning, so I have to get up too.
Where's my camera down? Oh, because I showed off Millie. 71, I do have little hats for her. I thought I showed you guys a Halloween hat.
Yes, I
It was a
love
bat.
it.
And she looked like a bat. And then I have a Christmas one, and I bought a bunny one with bunny ears. I'll show it to you guys. But we will, Cheryl. I don't know. We might be live tomorrow. Maybe we'll do that stream tomorrow if Leanne's up to teaching us.
Yeah.
And 71 can come up and tell us her stuff.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
All right. Well, thanks, guys, for coming.
Thank you, everybody, for chatting with us tonight. We'll hopefully see you tomorrow.
And Cheryl, go back and watch yesterday's video, but scroll towards the end. I died laughing. We were all in tears last night laughing.
Yes.
I woke up with freaking pulled muscles. You're welcome, One Red Rose. Thank you for coming, everybody. Thank you for coming. All right, guys. See you later.
Bye.